talk about at the Moldy Table.
Hello and welcome to the Moldy Table podcast. I am your host, Sam from No Time for Nonsense, and I am here with your co-host, Kevin, infamously known for being the one and only Mevin.
Wait, why am I a co-host, but you're just a host?
I guess I'm also a
unfair.
co-host.
That
Maybe.
seems very unfair. Am I some sort of lower down person to you?
I know,
Mr.
I'm...
Grand, No Time for Nonsense, the king of Cambodia.
I'm the king of Cambodia now, guys. I went to Cambodia for a week. I built a house for a family. I'm the king now.
That's cute. I mean, that's also very helpful.
It was okay, but no,
Cool.
I am not a host, and you are not the. We are both co-hosts.
Yeah.
Of this podcast, I won't. This podcast is completely fair, and we split our earnings of $0 equally.
How was your trip to Cambodia, Sam? It sounds very interesting.
It was good. Yeah, I went to Laos and Cambodia.
What's Laos?
Laos is I think it's a country.
Is it? Jeez.
Maybe.
I think I'm
look
just
it up.
dumb. I don't. Okay.
Laos. Yeah, country. See?
All right.
I was right. It's country.
That's good to know.
Laos is a country in Asia.
Is Cambodia in Asia? I feel like I should know this.
Yeah, Cambodia is also in Asia, I think.
Oh.
I'm not good at geography.
I'm not good at geography.
And memorizing what's the difference between a state or a country. I just go places and note what the differences are between these places and the places that I live.
Well, there you go. All right, that was a good intro. Time to get into the topics that you all came here for, and that will probably possess the title of the video.
Okay, well, hang on. Before we get into the meat, I need to give one fun fact about Cambodia.
I already know this is gonna suck.
No, this is great. So, okay, first of all, just to say something cute, right? There was this family, and I built a house for them with my friends. They didn't have a house, and I built a house for them, and it was like the first piece of community service that I did, where it's like I saw the impact that I was making because there was a family that didn't have a house, and I literally built them a house.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
That was cool.
I don't think I've ever done any I've done community service because I get a certificate from my school that says I've done community service, but I've never really seen, what I do kind of impact the people that it's going to in the same way as that, because I feel like it would be really cool to build someone a shelter, because when you think about it right now, that family is probably sitting in that shelter and being like, thanks, Mr. No Time for Nonsense, for building this shelter.
Yeah.
Did you tell them that you had a YouTube channel that had 400 subs?
They didn't speak English, dude.
What?
They didn't speak English.
Did you speak whatever language they spoke?
No, we had a tour guide with us at all times that spoke the Cambodian language, which but the language is definitely not called Cambodian.
I was about to say Cambodian, but I was about to say French actually. I was feeling lucky on what language they spoke, but then they don't speak
French.
What do they speak? It seems like you should know this, considering you were there.
I think it starts with a K.
Okay,
K-H,
it doesn't matter.
Okay, but anyway, so the important thing that I wanted to tell you, this is the important thing, was that I went to the Cambodian night market with my friends, right? And we bought a lot of fake Supreme. So I got 2 fake Supreme shirts, and they both have different logos. So for the logo on the first one, the shape is accurate. It's the same shape as the normal Supreme logo, but the red is too neon, and the font is just bold Georgia font. It's not even italicized. It's just bold Georgia font.
Dude, Kyler's gonna have some competition.
Hell yeah.
These people from Cambodia, they know what they're doing when making some knockoff Supreme stuff.
And then so the second Supreme shirt that I got the logo is like wider. It's just way too wide, but the color is correct and the font is kind of italicized. So the font's more correct, the color's more correct, but the logo's too wide. And then my friend, he got a fake Supreme Louis Vuitton hat, which was by far the worst one, because the hat said original on like the buckle of it and like the inside. So it was just like some like custom like Spreadshirts hat that said original all over it from like a warehouse. The hat's like beige, and then they just like sewed a Louis Vuitton Supreme logo onto the hat, and it looked so bad.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Okay, we can move on to the meat now. Now that I've talked about fake Supreme.
So, since you've been gone, Sam, no bullshit. That whole story's like returned.
Yeah.
Into our attention. It's been going strong for 8 months.
Yeah.
And I've been hating every minute of it. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say about it. What do you know about it? Because like I haven't really been. I've said some things on Twitter, but I haven't really been too involved with all the videos that have been made recently.
Look, here's what I'm gonna say. It's really cool to see YouTubers with like 100K subs and over making videos about the situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's cool to see. Just a Robot's video is not very good.
I didn't watch it, so.
I did. It was... Look. I very much appreciate Just a Robot for giving me extra clout and getting me 10 whole extra subs. But, look. In his video, the criticisms that he makes are accurate, right? The criticisms that he makes against No Bullshit are mostly accurate.
Okay.
When No Bullshit said, socialism is when people want to be social, that is the one point where he is clearly joking.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of people say that. Like, that was what when a Mr. Dapperton made his video, and he's
that was like his biggest point.
That was his only point.
He was clearly joking.
The video's called, like, No Bullshit thinks...
socialism is socializing.
Yeah.
Like, he was clearly joking when he said that. What's interesting is when he said... was when he gave two serious definitions that were both terribly incorrect. So then he gave 5 joke definitions in order to make it seem like he was joking.
Yeah.
And Just a Robot's video isn't terrible, right? Because he points this out, and he also does make a decent point by saying, when you said socialism is socializing, it doesn't matter if you were joking, because we weren't laughing with you, we were laughing at you.
Mm-hmm.
What you said wasn't like a funny joke, it was just we were laughing at you because you said something dumb, which is like a good point. So like, alright, Just a Robot's video isn't terrible. I just felt like it wasn't structured very well, and it was a bit all over the place. Alright, that's just my opinion. I am very much thankful of Just a Robot for giving me 10 subscribers. And I also think his voice is kind of weird.
Yeah, I think he uses a voice shifter.
He does, but that's not what weird. He like extends certain consonants and vowels of words for too long, and it's weird.
I couldn't
Stop
watch
doing
his,
that.
His character stills. I don't know. I don't like the way he makes it. It's hard for me to watch because they like move really fast. But
that's just extra plays. That's just his editing.
But I personally found that hard to watch. But I also just didn't
I
really.
just
At that
think
time, I didn't really. At the time of like a week ago, I think it was now.
Yeah.
I just didn't care enough.
It's a decent video, and it's good to see more people realizing that No Bullshit is dumb.
Yeah, the people who really struck me when making a video, it was really Mr. Dapperton, because he kind of brought back this wave of a kind of point of this, I don't know how to explain it, this little drama we had with No Bullshit. He kind of brought it back by making his video, and I think you were still here. It was before you went to Cambodia, when his video first dropped, because it put us in a difficult position, because he basically just re-uploaded the stream and said like one thing that wasn't even correct about no bullshit thinking that that socialism is socializing. And I didn't know how to feel about it, because he didn't really add anything to the topic. He just kind of pointed out that the stream existed.
I mean, I was happy because it was getting more views, so I didn't care.
Yeah, I felt like, I think you said this, it was just kind of a stream. It wasn't even our stream to begin with.
Yeah, exactly.
It
was Brooks's stream, but then he deleted it because we made him look bad,
and
so
we
then
already
re-uploaded it.
Yeah.
So essentially what he did was he re-uploaded a re-upload, which like obviously if he just kind of uploaded my CNN video without my permission, I'd be like, dude, take that down. Like,
yeah.
Dude, like, I appreciate that you liked the video, but like, shout me out. Don't just upload the video. Like, that's my
Yeah, because then no one's gonna come watch it.
Yeah.
And
but,
we want to be the ones to benefit from it. I think we did, actually.
We benefit, but like, I don't care. I don't really care because it was just a stream and it wasn't really our stream. It's just kind of... Yeah. So, like, I just want more people to be aware that no bullshit is dumb.
Yeah, and I think that... And then also... I think it brought, like, light to this stream again, and I think also what it did is it brought a new audience to the conversation, which was interesting, because I feel like a lot of what I saw in the comments and a lot of what I saw like other people making videos about, I didn't really agree with them either. So it kind of created this whole three-way between
certainly brought a new audience, because there were people in Dapperton's comment section. There was one comment that said something like, I hate it when you guys fight. I'm fans of both of you. Why can't we just all agree to not like the Jews and get along?
Yeah, like...
I'm like, whoa, dude. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, it certainly brought a new audience, and like I think it brought... I struggle to say this because I don't like to make general statements, but I think it brought in an audience that kind of is at odds with no bullshit's audience, but has the same level of intelligence.
Yeah.
Because they don't seem to like understand the situation and like what we're trying to say about it. They're just kind of blindly going off of what you've already said, Sam. Because I think the whole thing started because I made a video where I mentioned him for like 30 seconds, and I told him that that using videos of clouds in the background is a bit lazy. And I thought that him quoting Billy Madison to critique Quentin reviews was a little dumb. And he obviously can't take that because he's an absolute alpha male. And he loves just harassing children. I don't know where I was going with that, but the point is, there's a new audience of people who are stupid. And also, like, they don't understand, like, the thing that really gets to me is that, when you take, like, bits of the stream and, like, points that were made on both sides, you can make an argument about what No Bullshit is saying, what you're saying, what Turkey Tom is saying. But then when you put it in a broader context, it sort of takes on a different meaning. For example, if you just take the clip of No Bullshit being like, socialism is like a country that's trying to be very social, or whatever he said, that's obviously a stupid thing to say. And, some people think it's a joke and some people don't. It doesn't really matter what you think. It was a joke, for the record. You can hear him laugh in the background.
He says that.
But, like, if you just take that clip, like, sure, you can say No Bullshit's dumb or unfunny or whatever you want to say. But when you put it in the broader context of, like, first of all, how he was trying to mask that he doesn't know what socialism is, and also the fact that, like, the whole stream is kind of exists because he's just a baby who can't take criticism. It's like what people are saying is, like, critiques against No Bullshit that make him look bad, but when you put it into context, it makes him look worse. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Well, people are just paying attention to the. I mean, Just a Robot, his video had the best criticisms. I feel like in Dapperden's, it was just kind of like he thinks socialism is socializing.
Yeah.
When we really shouldn't have been focusing on that. I saw a comment that I'm assuming was from a Dapperton fan on the Moldy Table stream.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really just so it was basically saying God,
I love how many times we're sighing in this video.
it's so hard to okay. Look, so the comment said, all I see here are 3 people that don't know what socialism is, and then he gave this long essay. It was just misinformation. He's like, it was just his opinions. It was like, socialism and communism, they're interchangeable at times. And I'm like, look, dude, they're 2 different things. And then he replies saying, no, they're not. Study other communists. And I'm like, dude, I've studied communists. Karl Marx said himself that you cannot associate, that if you're a communist, you cannot associate with a socialist because socialists still have to do work. And Karl Marx basically viewed that as slavery.
Wait, doesn't like, I need to brush up on this myself, so I probably shouldn't be talking, but like, isn't like socialism supposed to like evolve into communism? Is that what he's maybe talking about?
Not necessarily. I mean, okay, so there's capitalism, which is just free market, people choose how, like, people run the economy is run by the individual. There's socialism, which is the government controls the market. There's no market economy. The government says, this is how much your business is allowed to make, this is how much your product has to cost. Then there's communism, and complete and utter communism is really, there's no government, there's no money, there's no currency. Everything is 100% equal, which has never been accomplished. Like, the most communist countries have really been socialist. Like, there has never really been a communist country.
Yeah, because I think the problem with that is that, like, human desire is just always going to get in the way of communism ever working.
Yeah, so, like,
I think socialism, I don't think it really has worked too well in the past.
No, socialism's never worked.
I feel like it could. I feel like socialism could work.
They're
in the right setting.
Not complete, not dictionary definition socialism, which is what I'm talking about. Like, the government regulates the economy. I don't think that could work. Elements of socialism, sure. Like, minimum. Like, we have minimum wage in the U.S. That's not inherently a capitalist idea. It's not socialism. It's just not inherently capitalist, and it's good. Like, having complete and utter capitalism, not a good idea. We need things like minimum wage to regulate things. Like, if the person was trying to make the stance that the most communist countries have really been socialist. I think that it was China or Japan that got the closest. I think it was probably China. And they, like, abolished private property for, like, a day. Like, that was the closest that they ever got to communism. But, like, countries that were considered communist were really socialist. And if you're trying to make that stance, then, like, sure, I'd agree with that. But they were basically saying communism and socialism are the same thing. You don't know what socialism is. Study other...
I mean, I haven't read the comment. I'm just kind of taking what you said. But I feel like what he said might be up to interpretation. But then again, I feel like giving YouTube comments the benefit of the doubt is a very slippery slope.
I mean, what I responded was basically saying, I've read Marx. He did not like socialism. And then he said, well, then Marx was an idiot. I'm like, dude, I don't like Marx. Like, this is just what he said. This is what Marx, basically the creator of communism, said. I am not a communist.
One thing I do like about that the no bullshit audience and the Dapperton audience have in common is they just, like, say anything. It's like they're just kind of like, basically there's no conversation involved when you're talking to No Bullshit or one of his fans. It's just like, at least in my experience, it's just kind of like you try to ask him what socialism is, and he's just like, he just talks about whatever. He just like he just insults you for being in high school.
That same person that left the comments somehow said, like, socialism and communism being interchangeable is the same reason why the left wants to ban guns. And I'm like, dude, what?
What?
What? So it was obviously just some angry, like, cuck-servative.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see that one at all.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't feel like going back to read the comment. Go back and find it and read it yourself.
Yeah,
and tell me
hopefully.
what you think. Maybe it's more nuanced than I'm giving it credit for.
Yeah, I would be willing to give it credit
Yeah.
if I like thought about it more, but I don't have time to analyze YouTube comments
Yeah.
because that just takes way too much effort.
Yeah.
And heaven knows that I'm lazy because I never upload videos.
If you're lazy, then I'm, like, in a coma.
I think you uploaded. I think you were the last one of us to upload, weren't you?
Was I?
I don't know. It's been
Maybe.
ages.
I think I might have been. Well, no, you
Yeah.
uploaded your Boogie 2988 video after I did.
I uploaded that.
Do you not remember uploading that?
Let's take a look-sees.
That was the last video you uploaded, dude.
Let me check.
Turkey Tom
Oh,
left
yeah.
a comment on it
Oh, yeah.
that said yes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
man, I have like no memory of actually like uploading that video. I remember making it, but I thought it
Yeah.
was gonna be one of my scrapped videos. What was my intro music? Oh, Zanzibar. That's a
Yeah, I
sick
remember.
song.
Yeah, it was Zanzibar.
Yeah.
Zanzibar's a great song. we need to okay.
Okay, so should we talk about our next thing? That's
we
very.
need to keep talking about no bullshit.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Bec-
Okay.
Can I-
Here. Do you want to introduce?
Who wants to intro this?
I'm
topic?
introducing it because I'm the alpha male here.
Okay.
We're
Fair enough.
just like the BuzzFeed Try Guys. Okay, so basically, when it comes to no bullshit, what I've found out is that there's just like an endless supply of things to talk about because he's just everything he says doesn't make any sense and everything
He's a
he
homophobe.
says is dumb. We'll get to that. So basically, calm your pretty little head. So basically, what we've decided to do for the remainder of this podcast, or maybe not, for however long we feel like, is we're just going to talk about one thing that we think is very stupid about him. And maybe if you guys are lucky and you leave enough likes, then we'll talk about this more. So basically, we're gonna talk about what I think is the most interesting element of No Bullshit's character at the moment, is him being a total homophobe. You want to talk to him?
Yeah. So everyone's focusing on how no bullshit can't define socialism, which is all good because, first of all, it came from a stream with me in it, so, like, come on, it's gotta be good. So, like, everyone criticizing no bullshit for not knowing what socialism is, all good, because, you know, you should totally criticize him for that, because his job is to discuss politics, and he doesn't know what socialism is. But what you should also probably be criticizing is how he called gay people demons in his most recent video about a straight pride parade.
Jeez, that's a sentence and a half.
Yeah. So, look, here's the thing. I am completely in support of gay rights and gay marriage, but I'm also a very big fan of people like Ben Shapiro, because I do not believe that people like Ben Shapiro are transphobic. If you look up the definition of transphobia, it will say having a dislike for people that are gay. What Ben Shapiro's beliefs are specifically is that he believes being gay is sinful, which comes from a place of religion, which obviously I don't agree with, but he does not let that impact his political views, which I think is very respectable. So I do not consider Ben Shapiro to be homophobic. So, you know, don't look at me and yell, "Ha, liberal," because yes, I may be a little lefty, but I, you know, I can appreciate nuanced opinions from the other side. No Bullshit, on the other hand, made a video about a straight pride parade, where he said, where he called gay people demons, and said these demons just had a whole month to celebrate their sexuality.
Yeah.
That's homophobia. You just called an entire group of people demons. That is not okay.
Yeah, I mean, I always thought that. I always knew he was kind of homophobic. And when I first started talking about him, I hate that I say first started talking about him because I've been talking about him like endlessly. But when I first like made my video back in like December or November or whenever that was, where I critiqued his visuals, I very strongly considered talking about how, you know, he's a homophobe, he's a pretty much everything phobe, except for straight whites. Because you know, it's worth talking about because he's an influential political YouTuber, I'd say, and I think it's worth talking about that he has such a big platform and he's saying these horrible things. But I decided to kind of back off because it was a little more. I thought it was a little more subdued back then, because in the sense that he just wasn't, you know, bashing gay people in his videos, and he doesn't like endlessly. Like he's not always just talking. He doesn't just say I hate gay people in his videos.
He pretty much does. He called them demons. That's
he okay, at least back then he wasn't as forward with it.
Oh, he didn't used to be. He's like changed politically, I think.
Yeah,
like over the past. I think maybe it had something to do with Richard Spencer liking his videos.
Oh my god, that's a whole nother. Those are like two rabbit holes. His change and his relationship with Richard Spencer are two rabbit holes that we don't have time to go down today, but I feel like we will at some point. But I don't know, it's interesting because I always knew that he was a homophobe, but for way too long a time I kind of stood back on it, and I'm just like, he may be a homophobe, but there's so many other things that are even like less offensive that I can poke fun at him for, and that he'll take like more offense to. Like, if I had just like called him a homophobe in my video, I would have gotten a very different response than me just like critiquing his visuals. And I mean, because I think if anything, it made the situation a lot more meaningful. The fact that I gave such a small criticism and he got so upset.
Your criticism was literally, you gave a quote from Billy Madison as a response to Quentin reviews, and you used gameplay, and it shows no effort. And then he responded saying, "Lol, you talked about ContraPoints. I guess you're gay."
Yeah, I mean, I'll give him that. I do have something to compliment No Bullshit on, and I really shouldn't be complimenting him, but he does entertain me, and I probably shouldn't be glorifying him because he's not a good person.
Because he's a terrible person.
But
who doesn't like gay people.
It's like he just says anything. Like, I remember the most interesting thing. I don't know if we'll be releasing these, but I had shortly after my second video on him came out, I had these like long discussions with him, like night after night in the DMs, and he would just say he would say anything. It was ridiculous.
Oh yeah, we had a big DM discussion with him where our thesis statement was, you can't take criticism, you deleted a stream with us because we made you look like an idiot, and you are lying about us. And his thesis statement was, black people are good at basketball.
I forgot about that one. Yeah, that was really dumb. I remember he also I don't know if he's done this publicly yet, but he also accuses us of I don't know how to say this grammatically correct, but of aboutism, of like using aboutism. Do you know what aboutism is, Sam?
Unfortunately, I don't.
Good, because it's not a thing. Because it literally is not a thing. The term he's referring to is whataboutism, which is a Soviet propaganda.
Yeah, whataboutism I know. I don't know about, because I was about to say, I do not know what aboutism is. I'm not as politically intelligent as I'd like to make myself believe I am. But, no, I guess it's not a thing. So I guess I am a true intellectual genius.
But whataboutism
junior high schooler.
You're not a junior high schooler?
I'm a high schooler that's a junior.
Junior high schooler is a middle schooler. But,
no.
Whataboutism is like a Soviet propaganda tool of like just shifting. It's just like shifting the subject in the face of a question, to to put it
Yeah,
mildly.
no, yeah,
And
no, I
he
totally
accuses
know what
us
that
of
is.
he accuses us of doing
No,
it
but
all
we
the
don't
time.
do that. He does that. He did that when he asked me to define onomatopoeia.
Exactly. It's
We
'cause
don't
he'll
do
just
that.
say
I
anything.
shifted the subject back to what it was originally about.
Yeah, I mean, and also you like defined onomatopoeia,
Yeah.
which is a good part of the stream.
What about ism is like when in the Dem debates when they were like, "Hey Kamala Harris, do you think that Democrats need to explain how they're going to pay for their new policies?" And then Kamala Harris is like, "Interesting question, but what about the bad Republicans?" And then everyone's like, "Yes."
Yeah, I mean, politics is just kind of whataboutism. I feel like sometimes.
Yeah, it's used a lot.
Yeah, but getting back to no bullshit and how he's like homophobic. This is kind of changing the subject, but
He's also transphobic, by the way. We can get into that a bit more if you want later.
Yeah, he like refuses to call ContraPoints
That's not the so like here's the thing. Like I've mentioned that I'm a
Do you have any other like proof that he's transphobic? I haven't seen this.
Yeah, no, I do.
Okay, I'm interested
The
in
thing
this
is that the proof isn't public because he won't release the stream.
Oh, okay.
But if he inevitably does, if we
hold
get
on,
enough
like,
people...
Hold on, before you
then-
say this,
Yeah.
take all of this with a grain of salt because the stream might not exist anymore, so we don't know if
That's
we can
true.
prove this.
He might have deleted it. But, if you get enough people to say, release the stream, and if he eventually releases it, if you look into the stream, you will find this. I am certain. This
Okay.
happened in the stream. He is transphobic. So look, I've mentioned I'm a Ben Shapiro fan, right? I don't agree with him on everything. I definitely don't, and I don't agree with him on the subject of people that are trans. I don't. However, Ben Shapiro is not transphobic because he does not view transgender people as less than human. He specifically says that he believes that being transgender is a mental disorder. I absolutely disagree with that. I do not think that is true. If you look at the facts, people that go from a male to female transition have a brain that is very similar to the biological brain of a biological female. And same for vice versa, for female to male transitions. If you look at the science, that is what it says. I believe that being transgender is absolutely a thing and should be legitimized. Ben Shapiro doesn't believe that. He thinks it's a mental disorder. He misgenders people. It's still not transphobia. Because he does not view them as less than human. He just doesn't recognize the condition, and that's
also,
fine.
before
It's
you,
just a
like,
different opinion.
Before you, if any of you are thinking that Sam is like, giving Ben Shapiro a pass, I think a lot of there's like a motorcycle gang outside or something. I don't know if you can hear that.
I did hear that. I thought that it was just your stomach rumbling really loud.
What? Stomachs don't sound like. Okay, before you like attack Sam in the comments, I think the definition of I think like when you're looking at transphobia, when we're calling no bullshit like homophobic, I think a lot of it is up to personal definition of what you consider to be transphobic or homophobic or whatever phobic. Because I think no bullshit even said in the stream of Richard Spencer that Richard Spencer wouldn't consider himself a white supremacist or whatever, or racist or whatever he said. And as stupid as as you may think that is, he's kind of right in a sense, because as far as we know, Richard Spencer thinks what he's doing is right. I think it's horrible, and it is horrible, quite frankly. It is horrible,
but he probably thinks that what he's doing is the correct thing.
Yeah, so I think that's important to think about, because I'll never condone anything Richard Spencer says, and I think he's a horrible person, but I think it's important to remember that most people, what they're saying, they think they're right. And so, I don't know, I just want to throw that out there. And like, what you think is racist or homophobic or anything phobic can vary from person to person. So Sam's just kind of like outlining what he defines as transphobic. Just wanted to throw that disclaimer in there.
That's also like the Google definition of like the dictionary definition.
Yeah, but I think it's still
of homophobia and transphobia. And like everyone has their own definition, but the dictionary definition is if you have something against these people as people.
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
against the condition, against the person, which are two different things.
Yeah.
And Ben Shapiro doesn't have anything against transgender people as people. He does not see them as less than human. Therefore, I don't believe him to be transphobic. I just believe him to have a different opinion, and I believe that he has enough nuance to his opinion for it to be taken into consideration, although I very deeply disagree with it. Now, that said, I think Ben Shapiro is really smart. I like him on many issues. That's just not one of them.
Right.
I just don't think he's transphobic.
Okay.
No bullshit is transphobic. In the stream, I talked to him about ContraPoints, and yeah, he misgendered her, which isn't inherently transphobic. It's just dumb and him trying to be edgy.
Yeah, and it's kind of rude.
Yeah, and
I'd
kind of
say.
rude. But when I tried to explain to him that his videos are bad because they don't have good visuals and they're bad, and I explained ContraPoint's videos, although I agree with her on a decent amount of things, are good because she has good lighting, she has good writing, and they have good production value. And he's like, prove it. So I'm like, all right. I took a screenshot from a ContraPoints video and I displayed it. And I pointed out, this is very good lighting. This is good production value. This is a very appealing visual. It's very creative. And he said, all I see is some weird freak with an Adam's apple. And it's like, dude, that is transphobic. I didn't say it. I did not say that. I just kind of ignored it because I didn't feel like getting into that. But that is what he said. He said something among the lines of, that is a freak with an Adam's apple.
I mean,
you cannot say that. That is not okay.
That's not okay, yeah. And he also he has such a hate for these, like, for these specific groups of people, mainly, like, the Try Guys. Like, I don't understand how one can just, like, talk about the Try Guys in such a way so much. And, like, he bashes them for being, like, beta males, and how he doesn't like that males are being feminized or whatever. And it boggles my mind, or as Wild Spartans would say, it bongles my mind. Okay.
So no bullshit is going to a straight pride parade. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, okay, so I don't know how aware you guys are, but there's like a straight pride parade that's like going to be organized on August 31st in Boston. It may or may not be happening. I honestly don't know or care at this point. I don't know. It's an interesting thing because the idea of a straight pride parade in my mind is just so inherently stupid because it's like, it reminds me, have you seen Parks and Recreation?
Yeah.
Do you remember those guys who are like, they're like feminists, but they're feminists for males. Like, they're called like maleness. Meninists, that's what they're called. Yeah. Like, that's what I think of. And that's what they are. Like,
it's so dumb.
Like, but then I realized that there's like real people who are like in charge of this and who actually want this. Like, no bullshit. I think he even said in his video that like this is not like a joke and it's to celebrate straights. And I'm just like, why? Like, listen, look, you can be proud of the fact you're straight. Like, that's 100% fine. Like, and you should be if you want to. Like, I think...
I don't really care. I don't think
care,
you should be proud of your sexuality. It's like, you want to like it, I don't care.
Yeah, but but I think the straight pride parade, to me, is kind of like a response to the...
Yeah, I think
I don't want to
fair.
say just like pride, because...
Because I don't think that they'd be having this parade if gay pride parades didn't exist. Like, this is totally just people getting, like, these gays having parades. Why can't the straights have parades? So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have a straight parade.
Yeah.
Take that.
And I feel like, I mean, we'll see what happens I feel like the straight pride parade could have a lot of issues in the future. Because, like, when you think about it...
It already has a lot of issues now. Issue number 1, it's a parade about being straight.
Yeah, like, what's gonna... I don't even know. Like, what do you even say? Because the thing I also don't like about it, no bullshit, he runs this narrative that, like, straights are somehow being... Straight white males are being, like,
that's
persecuted.
what you were criticizing him for. But you were talking about the Try Guys. And how he, like, is mad about them being feminine.
Oh, yeah.
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 We remembered what we were talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hate our podcast. It's so awful. Okay.
Sorry. Okay, guys, audience, you have to understand. It is so hard to talk about no bullshit and keep like a constant, like a tentative frame of mind.
Yeah, there's
like
nothing he said. I haven't like. There's not one thing that he says where I'm just like, I 100% agree with that. Because even if he says like 2 + 2 = 4, I'm just like, if he said it, he's probably. I probably will just hate the way he says it. Like I can't like agree with him on anything, and like
it doesn't even matter if you agree with the overall opinion, just what he uses to back them up. like the Trump wall. Like if you watch this podcast and you're in favor of the Trump wall, I don't care. You can watch our podcast. We do not discriminate against ideas. But his reasoning for why the Trump wall is good is if walls didn't work, then why do we have them on our houses? And that is what he literally said in a video. He said, if walls don't work, why do we have them on our houses?
But basically, the straight pride parade, it's stupid, and no bullshit's going to it, and he really and he runs this narrative.
Yeah.
This is what I hate most about him now. He runs this narrative that straight white males are getting attacked, and that's just simply not true. Mm-hmm. And if you want, maybe you could make the case that, like, you know, there's people out there who hate straight white males, but you can't go out there and
say that they're the only people that are...
And you can't say that they're, like, a priority, because there's obviously...
Yeah, I mean, people
still
like to
inequality
believe that racism isn't a thing. Like, it's not a thing on a government scale anymore, but it still exists. Like, when I was in Cambodia with my friends, we were walking down the market, and my friend, I'm trying to find a way to phrase this other than saying I have a black friend.
Just say you have a black friend.
My friend who's black was walking with me, and someone... one of the people there that's trying to sell us stuff turns to her and says, "Michelle Obama, come back." And it's like, well, first of all, like, the person who said that probably said that because they live in Cambodia and haven't seen a black person all their life. But, calling a black female Michelle Obama simply because she's black and a female is
that's
not okay.
But it's weird. But back to no bullshit. Once again, straight pride parade. He runs white males are getting attacked narrative, and he like is super proud of it. And I don't know why. And he's going to the straight pride parade. And this is a more lighthearted part, and it's my favorite thing. Did you see his GoFundMe to like go to the?
Yeah.
It's like he asked for like $1,000 or something like that just to like fund his trip to the straight pride parade. And I'm just like, why are you doing this? It's like he's just taking money out of the pockets of his supporters just so he can go to like this stupid event. I mean, I guess they're choosing to donate to him, so like he's not doing anything unethical in that sense, but it's still ridiculous. All right,
It is really ridiculous. Yeah, we should end this now.
Yeah. Also, should we talk about the Thigh Gap song, or I feel like that might be a necessary...
let's briefly mention it.
Okay,
no bullshit made a song about thigh gaps and it's not funny.
Okay, I shouldn't be like... Okay, so yeah, basically one of the regulars on our Discord server sent me this song that No Bullshit made back on his old channel, Brooks Show, called the Thigh Gap Song, where he sings about women's thigh gaps, and it's really bad. It's not funny, and it's a little... I think it's really creepy because... Sam, you talk about it while I pull up the lyrics and explain why I think it's really creepy.
So he made a song about girls with thigh gaps, and I wouldn't have a problem with this if the song was funny, but it's not. And it's just him singing, "Girls with thigh gaps, and guys find them attractive. The thigh gap, thigh gap."
Yeah,
and that's the song. He majored in theater in college.
Yeah, the problem I have with it is that one of the lyrics is, if you're a girl in high school, you know what makes boys drool, and he's a grown man talking about, and like I feel like the way he's talking about high school girls' thigh gaps, and that's really creepy.
Yeah, it is very creepy.
And also,
and the music video is just pictures of thigh gaps.
Yeah, I hope to God everyone is an adult in that, because
yeah,
that would be just a whole nother thing. If that'd be so horrible. I mean, I already think I don't like that. As much as I want to be like, okay, this is just like he was trying to make a joke and it's really bad and I'm like laughing at him. I there's something that like rubs me the wrong way about it, and I feel like uncomfortable when listening to it, because I don't know, it gives me a bad taste in my mouth just like talking about it. So I think to sum it all up, what did we talk about this long episode?
Look,
no bullshit.
Guys, to sum it all up, chicken, nugget, biscuit, nugget in a biscuit, nugget, biscuit, nugget in a biscuit, nugget, biscuit, nugget in a biscuit, dip it all in mashed potatoes, and I think that we can all agree on that.
Yes. Okay, we're gonna end this episode soon. This was just kind of our way of ranting about no bullshit, getting everything we need to say off of it. Hopefully it was interesting. It was way longer than usual. And now we're gonna get to the classic end of a story where Kevin the Mevin talks about his experience at a restaurant. Sam's favorite part. Okay.
Yay.
So this is an example of a classic bro moment. So I was at Shake Shack. I ordered some burgers, and I ordered a lemonade and not a shake, because I don't drink shakes at Shake Shack anymore, because I found out that they use milk powder instead of real milk, and that I don't like that. And I got a lemonade, and I realized that you can get free refills at Shake Shack.
Ooh,
and I wanted to take advantage of that free refills. So I go ask for a refill, and I find out that there's no more lemonade left, and that the lady who worked there told me they didn't have any lemonade, and I went, oh, that's a bummer. And then so I threw away my lemonade cup. I sit back down at my seat, and I see a guy with a giant bucket, and then he opens the lemonade thing and fills it with lemonade, and I'm just like, oh my God, I can't believe I threw away and I tried to ask for another one, they wouldn't give it to me. It's really sad.
That was the second funny restaurant story that you've ever told.
Were the ones in the first few episodes really that bad?
They were just so uninteresting.
What were they? I think the one
just like, I asked for another Diet Coke, and I said something that I thought was slightly rude or something.
What? I don't think I even drink Diet Coke, but okay. I mean, I guess I'll keep up with the restaurant stories. The only one I remember telling was the one about the 10-year-old gift card, because the regulars at our Discord server won't let me hear the end of that one.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the end of this episode. Goodbye, children. I'm going to stop recording my audio now before I talk more.